next recipe we're going to do is salmon with salsa verde, and we're going to start off by roasting some peppers. And I have a beautiful green bell pepper here, and I have some jalapeno peppers as well. And you can do this on top of your element if you have gas heat, or you can do them on the barbecue. Today we're going to use this broiler here, and I'm simply going to place them right on the broiler and let them start to char. While the peppers are roasting, we're going to cut up an avocado here, and I have one in my hand here. And the way I go about it is I take a knife, hold it in my palm, go through the skin down to the seed, okay, and then just revolve the whole avocado and the knife around it, and then twist in opposite directions, and it comes right apart in two halves. Then with my knife, I hit the seed, pull it out. Then being very careful, I take my knife and I just make vertical cuts down to the skin, but not through, obviously. Then we just turn it and go the opposite direction, down to the skin. Then with a spoon, what I'm going to do is just scoop out all that avocado flesh, and it's basically all chopped up for you at this point. Next, we're going to deal with our tomatillas, and a lot of people think that these are related to tomatoes, but they're not actually. They're more closely related to gooseberries. They kind of come with this paper-like husk around them, and we want to just peel that back and remove that. And you want this kind of beautiful green color. You don't want any bruising or bad fleshy marks on it. And then once we have that, you can kind of wipe it or rinse it off in cold water. We're just gonna cut it into quarters here. I have a little cookie sheet here. We're just gonna lightly spray it with extra virgin olive oil, lay our tomatilla quarters down, season them with kosher salt and black pepper, and we're gonna roast these in the oven until they're. Next, we're gonna chop some cilantro. This has been washed and shaken dry. You know, if I had all day, I could sit here and take each leaf off the stem, but I never had that much time. So what I'm gonna do is just grab the stem end, and with a sharp knife, just kind of shave it as I turn the head of cilantro. And that way you get most of the leaves, and then you can easily go through and get rid of any big stems from there. So save you a little time there. And once we've got it to this point where we have just the majority of leaves, I don't mind little stems, we're just going to chop it up. And it doesn't have to be finely chopped. A rough chop is fine because we're going to put it in the food processor in just a second. Now that our peppers have blackened all the way around, we're going to put them in a plastic container. A lot of recipes say brown paper bag. I prefer plastic because there are lots of good juices in here, and we don't want the bag to absorb them while they steam. So plastic container is my preferred vessel to put them in, and in they go. We're going to put a lid on it, and in about 10 minutes what's going to happen is the steam created from these peppers is going to take the skin right off the flesh of the peppers. We'll peel that off, take the seeds off, so all that we end up with is the nice smoky meat of the peppers themselves. Okay, now we've roasted our peppers, both the green bell pepper and the jalapeno, and now we want to, we've steamed them for about 10 minutes now, and we're going to remove the lid. And we'll start with the bell pepper. You can see that it's nicely charred all the way around, okay? You take a knife, cut it in half lengthwise. Now I can see in the bottom of this pepper there's some juice, and I want to save that if possible. So I'm just going to pour that back into the container because that's all flavor in there. And then with the cut side up, we'll just take the seeds and the core right out. And then we can get any little errant seeds out of there with your knife. We'll flip it over, and now either with your fingers or your knife, you can just scrape some of this black skin off. Now, I kind of like to leave a little bit on. It kind of reminds me of campfire cooking where the ashes come up. over your cast iron skillet, and then some fall back in. It's all good flavor. It won't hurt you at all. And the skin is charred and smoky, so if you don't get every little last bit off, it's not the end of the world, okay? To where you end up with just this beautiful smoked flesh of the green bell pepper. Okay, just like the green bell pepper, the same thing applies to the jalapeno. And we'll cut it in half lengthwise, open it up, and just kind of scrape them towards the end here. You want to try to get most of these seeds if you can, because they're obviously hot. Then scrape the black skin off to where we just end up like we did with the green bell pepper, just this smoky flesh of the jalapeno. Okay, so our tomatillos are roasted. We're gonna add that to a food processor. We're gonna add our green bell pepper that we roasted and our jalapenos that we roasted. To that, I'm gonna add some avocado that we chopped earlier. Some fresh chopped cilantro. Some fresh chopped garlic. Some fresh squeezed lime juice here. A pinch of sugar. Oh, maybe a couple pinches. Some kosher salt, and some black pepper. Now we're gonna process this, but more on a pulse than puree, chunky, okay? And it's not quite thin enough for me, so I'm gonna add a little extra virgin olive oil. And we're gonna call that good. You can see the beautiful green color. And this just has fresh written all over it. Fresh and light. This would be good on anything, really. And it's gonna go excellent with this upper Columbia River Bright. And there we have it, Salsa Verde. Okay guys, next what we need to do is get our salmon ready to pan fry, and I have in here some unbleached, enriched all-purpose flour. And to that I'm gonna add some ground cumin, which has a nice smoky flavor to it. Really good, go good with the fish in this particular recipe. And we're gonna add a pinch of salt to that, pinch of pepper. And we're also gonna season our fish with salt and pepper on both sides. And then we'll mix this flour cumin mixture up. And I would say it's probably 1 part cumin to 4 parts flour. And we'll dredge the fillets in that. Dust them real good. And lay them out. And you could do this ahead of time, keep it in the refrigerator until you're ready to pan fry it. So here we are, we're gonna pan fry our salmon fillets that we dusted in flour and cumin earlier over a stovetop, whether you have gas or heat, you want about medium high. And I'm gonna add some peanut oil, and you just need just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. And a good indication of when it's ready to add the fish is you can flake a little flour into the oil, which will, if it sizzles, that means it's ready to go. Or if you just start to see smoke a little bit at the rim of the pan, that's also a good indicator. So I think we're ready to go here. And I'm gonna add the fillets. I always add them away from me. I'll even raise the pan up so the oil goes to the bottom, and I'll lay my fillets away from me so no oil splashes back on me, okay? And we're gonna turn it up to high now and get a nice crust started on this one side. They're gonna cook for about 4 minutes on this side, 3 on the other, and we'll take them out to drain. I think it's about time to take these out of here. They've been about 3 minutes on this side, so we've gone a total of 7 to 8 minutes. And for this size fish, that's about perfect. And actually, we want to try to achieve a little medium rare here if we can, because salmon's even better, a little underdone. And even if it's still underdone as I take these out, it'll continue to cook. So I want to take them out and transfer them to this drain pan here, and just let them sit and settle for a minute. And they'll continue to cook a little bit, and we'll plate right after they're done. Okay, now we're gonna plate. So we have our Salsa Verde here that we made earlier. We're just gonna take some of that and put it right down on the plate, like so. And take one of these beautiful salmon fillets. And we'll run it right across. And then for garnish, I'm going to use a tomatilla that we didn't cook earlier, just a quartered piece. And there you have it. Beautiful Columbia River salmon, Salsa Verde. I hope you've enjoyed the recipes that we've done today. I want to thank Bill and all the tribal fishers for providing us this beautiful salmon to cook with today. My name is Eric Jenkins, and until next time, happy eating.